events nationally. Take it around the country. And let me give you a sense of why we're gathered. And thank you for being here, because this is a great opportunity, not just for you, but for the people you touch every day in your life. And here's why. We are in incredibly fear-driven times. You agree with that?
Yes.
We can feel it. We feel it in our clients. We feel it for ourselves. We feel it for our fellow realtors. We feel it for the economy. We feel it for people. We hear it. We hear lots of these messages. It is. Now, by the way, it's interesting because we are in a culture that has been fear-based for a while. Right? The media, I don't know if anyone's read the book by Michael Crichton called State of Fear. But in there, he makes it very clear that it's in the interest of politicians, of big institutions, typically big businesses, and those of special interest to instill fear. Right? When they create fear for us, then they are seeking our support of them, right? Our financial support of them. So they are sending out fear-based messages. These are all over the place right now. And in this environment, what it takes is courageous people who understand what really matters, who have their feet on the ground and understand how things really work, to be a place of calmness, a rock for other people to be able to gain confidence from. So part of what we want to do in our time together is really talk not only for ourselves about our courageous living, but about how we help other people live courageous lives, right? And overcome the fear. We say lead a fearless life. Now, the three of us really form a powerful combination. You can see it in the front. John is the founder of the Real Estate Inner Circle, which specializes in helping top agents across the country build their businesses to the level that they can build it. So he trains and he coaches. John himself, and you'll meet more of him later, and he'll give you a sense of it, but he's been an entrepreneur all his life, and a service-oriented entrepreneur, and very courageous in building new businesses, and also growing himself as a human being. He's touched many, many lives. I have great respect for what he's done. He came to Lori and me. Lori Hathorn is my life partner and my business partner, and we formed a year ago an organization called Free Enterprise Warriors, because we believe in this day and age the message of free enterprise, the message of people being able to build their own businesses and create their own destiny, as we know people do in the real estate business, is the great opportunity. Right? That opportunity has always been there. We're in a great free enterprise economy that allows it to happen. It's great, and across the world we're seeing, and Lori will touch later on some organizations we're familiar with called Kiva and Grameen Bank that are helping small, little one-person operations in third world countries just get enough of the funding they need to be able to run their own little business, right? Whether it's getting more rice out of their little rice paddy, or because they need some farm implements, or it's somebody who's a basket weaver and just needs the materials, not from some kind of usurious person that they've been borrowing money from. And when they get that little piece of a start, right, that little point where they can make a little more than they owe, we create incredible entrepreneurship. And those cultures, there are now millions of people being supported in that way. And so this free enterprise message is one we want to take to the world. That's what Lori and our mission is to take this kind of free enterprise mission to the world. Now, that all said, John came to us and said, I see what you are doing, and he said, I think there's an opportunity to go out and touch people and let the real estate industry be one of the catalysts that help grow people's confidence and people's belief in what they can accomplish and how they can take control of their lives. And he said, what I really love to see, because I've seen it out of the work you've done, is this idea of being fearless. And he said, I think we should call it the Fearless Living Tour. And that was only about a month ago, wasn't it, John? Just about a month ago that idea crystallized. And of course now it's just spreading around the country, and we're setting dates as we go. And here we are for our very first one. So there's really 4 sections today. The first one I'm going to lead is a session in really how to look at fear, okay? In other words, to really understand that the handling of fear. And then John's going to take us into how that relates to real estate, how to be fearless in real estate. Lori, after lunch, is going to talk to us about how to be fearless in your finances, how to gain control of your financial management. And for a lot of people, that's one of their biggest fears they have. And then John's going to kind of finish the day talking about how we therefore use that to help build wealth. This has a personal meaning to me, and I hope you will allow me to be personally revealing as I go through this, because to me, my life has been defined by fear. I was the oldest of 5 boys. When you are the oldest child, there are certain diseases you inherit. And that is, one of them is the need to prove yourself, right? Because you were the shining star until who came along? Number two. Then the spotlight moved and you went, hey, what about me? Remember how much you loved me? Remember all the pictures you took of me? Remember all the things I was doing that was great? How come everyone else is getting the attention? And so you can spend the rest of your life in that insecure feeling of needing to prove yourself. I've led a lot of my life that way. I don't anymore, but I did. And it was a fear-based drive that was not well-intended. It caused me great anxiety and stress and difficult times. And so I had to do that. Then I learned another interesting lesson, which I'll share later, and that was that actually in some cases, fear is where I needed to move. In other words, instead of avoiding it or trying to reduce it, I needed to move toward it, because the fear was really telling me what it was that I was meant to do, what it is that I really wanted to do. So fear took on a different meaning. Over that time, I've had many opportunities as an instructor in the Dale Carnegie program, as helping many, many thousands of entrepreneurs build real estate businesses, both as owners and as agents. I've helped them overcome their doubts, because whether you call it worry, doubt, frustration, concern, it's all fear, right? You understand? There are lots of different words we use, and sometimes we don't like to use the word fear because we don't really like to kind of admit that we're fearful, right? There's a little bit for us macho guys, to say you're fearful, it's hey, come on, not me. But if we really look honestly, we really realize that sometimes we are acting out of fear in a way that is trying to pretend we're not fearful. So it's okay, it's better, I find it, to confront it, or I call it profront it, right? Con is a negative thing, so I go profront it. When you face something, you proactively get a chance to change it and make a difference in it. So I believe, and we're going to talk a little bit about how this works, that this is a very important part, and I call it Zen and fearless living. Now I want to add one little other personal element in this. One of the reasons I'm so passionate about people really, really grappling with their fears and getting past them, and I don't want to be naive about fearless living. We're going to talk about really what we mean by that. But the reason this matters to me is because a year ago, in just about a month, will mark the anniversary of the death of my oldest boy at the young age of 41, with 6 children. He died of fear. He died of unfaced fear. And financial, and his health. He let all of this go because he was just locked like deer in the headlights. And I wanted you to get that idea in mind, that what happens to people in times of fear is that they lock down. Do you understand what I mean? Deer in the headlights. They don't take action and they don't protect themselves, let alone having anything left for anyone else. Often in those times of lockdown, it looks like they're being very service-oriented. My son was. He was taking on responsibility for everybody around him. But that was weighing on him, and he wasn't taking care of himself, and therefore he died of diabetic ketoacidosis, a sudden attack of diabetes that he didn't even know he had. Why? He wasn't managing his health. He wasn't seeing a doctor. He was trying to tough it out. Why? Because he couldn't afford, he felt, to go to a doctor. So financially, he was feeling the burden of what he was going through. Now, I put all this down there to share with you how important this is to me. Because when we let fear lock us down that much, we lose the beautiful spirit we are. The beautiful, energetic, creative, problem-solving, can-do, make-it-happen spirit that God created us to be. gets shut down in the face of fear. So what I want to do in my little time with us together, and I call it Zen and the Art of fearless living,